Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents, and welcome to episode 106 of the Ingress Insights podcast. I don't know whether it sounds better saying 106, 106. It's 106th episode of the podcast. In this week's episode, we're going over the plus Delta news. We've got the results from the Rezo campaign, as well as the level 8 week still going on, and the key enhancement that's happened recently in the game. And then a few other little bits of Niantic adjacent news kind of stuff at the end. Before I get into the main anomaly related news, I just want to cover a few bits for myself and my gameplay. If you saw on Blue Sky, you know I've been feeling really rough the past few days, but I still managed to get on and record this, so I must have been feeling a little bit better. For that, I've also been playing. I managed to get myself to level 15 earlier in the week, so I'm now on 65,224 AP out of 16 million to get to level 16 for the third time, and then I'll recurse and go through it all over again. I also earned my first new regular badge for a little while, being the Engineer medal. So I've got that now at Platinum for deploying 20,000 mods. Obviously, level 8 week helped with deploying multiple mods at a time, so being able to do up to 4 per portal. I mean, I could easily get there and capture those last few. That's all for kind of personal level up bits, so I'll now get into the plus Delta news.
This is Alex Stam, technical artist, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
The plus Delta campaign Rezo has now ended, so we got a final score update from Niantic. So on the 6th of August, they published on their site the results for that. So for the plus Delta campaign Rezo bounties claimed, that's 49.5 to Enlightened versus 50.5 to Resistance, so close on there. For plus Delta Rezo points earned, it was 98.4 to Enlightened, 101.6 to Resistance. And then finally, for the plus Delta campaign Rezo season points, which are the important bit being rewarded, it was 147.9 points to Enlightened versus 152.1 points to Resistance. This last one doesn't give you any season points extras on there, but the average number of bounties completed per agent, that was done by Resistance the most, so they got 12.41 number of bounties completed per agent, Enlightened just a little bit behind at 12.37. So as I said, the main important bit there is the season points, because that obviously helps your faction out and helps towards the anomalies. Next weekend, we do have the anomalies coming up in Malakia, Malaysia, and Portland, Oregon. So we'll see how those go and how that affects the total season score by that point. But that's about it for plus Delta news. We've not got the second global op started quite yet. That'll be kicking off at the end of August, so we've got a little ways for that. So now I'll move into the general Ingress news.
What's up? This is Smooth Guy O, and you listen to the Ingress Insight podcast.
First of all, level 8 week is still ongoing. That runs till Monday, the 11th of August at 5 p.m. UTC. And with that, you're getting double AP, 6 times AP during running an Apex, and 2 level 8 resonators, double mods, drone cooldown time to 8 minutes. Lots of nice stuff on there. The Ingress team did update their level 8 week post with a 1 AP passcode to say if you need a single access point, so your all-time AP is an even number instead of an odd number, then you can use a single-use passcode for 1 AP. So the single-use passcode is it's 2025, I can't even, all as one word. So if you do need that 1 AP to make sure your AP stays even, odd, whatever you want it to be, then you can use that on there, and it's not going to affect you for level 8 week if you care about your AP being a certain number. The next bit of news I've got for Ingress is that items have returned to daily bounties. So before we got all the plus data tokens in the daily bounties, we were rewarded items such as shields, resonators, hypercubes, things like that. Those have now come back alongside the tokens. You still get the tokens, but either 1, 2, or 4 of the tasks will also reward items. That's kind of random on which ones give the items. But you are still able to get some items, so it's better than before, and it means that Niantic have worked out how to give you the tokens and the items at the same time. So that's nice to see all of those coming back, obviously alongside the recent additions we had to the store of the change in free items. Then next, today is Second Sunday. So if for agents that have done this before, you just need to complete one of the 4 bounties in your dispatch between 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. local time. So those involve uploading scans, becoming a scout controller of portals, doing missions, visiting all-time unique portals, and destroying and reclaiming Machina portals. Last time Second Sunday was on, it was when Machina disappeared, and Brian Rose said they'd taken on the feedback for that. This seems to have come into effect this time around, and rather than having to destroy and reclaim 20 Machina portals, you now need to only destroy and reclaim 5. So that may still be possible in Machinus depleted a bit. You don't have to do the Machina mission to do it. You can do any of the 4 on there, just one, and then you tap to claim that and you'll get a tick on your Second Sunday medal. As you know, if you've listened to this podcast previously, I tend to do scans for Second Sunday. It's worked out really well whilst the household's been sick, so I don't have to go out on Sunday. I'll just upload the scans that I got previously and be able to get a tick on there. If you do Machina for Second Sunday, let me know how it goes and whether you find it easier just to reclaim the 5 on there, or if you think there should be something else added rather than Machina for when Machina does dissipate and go away every so often. We've also had an app update this week, so we're now on version 2.172.1. So they wrote, what's new? We've added an option to sort portal keys by faction in your inventory, key lock, and capsules. Sort by faction should make it easier to recharge portals that are within recharge distance. Bug fixes fix the soft lock when claiming bounty rewards on dispatch. I will get into the key enhancement post shortly. I just want to share that this also brought what some users say is an issue for Android, what some users like, where it's removed the navigation bar on Android, and when you click to bring it up, it hides some buttons on Ingress, so it's a bit of a pain to do on there. Brian Rose has said that they're aware of it and they just need to do it as part of an update, but they will work to see if they can bring it back, but it will take some time to do that. In addition, it was also noted that the deep links to Ingress uses for things like portals and profiles, things like that, where you can click outside of the app and then it opens in the app. Those are due to expire. The service that offers these in Ingress is no longer active and won't be offering that shortly. Some of the other former Niantic games do still offer that. They use a different service, so I guess just a case of Niantic Spatial swapping over to one of those services for their deep links. But obviously there'll be costs involved in that and negotiations. So whether they won't have the deep links for a little while whilst they sort all of that out, I don't know. Now I want to cover what I said about in the update on there, where we've got enhanced key management, and this was posted by the Ingress team on the 5th of August, where they're introducing starred portals and alignment sorting. Agents, the flow of XM, the strategic construction of control fields, and the vigilant maintenance of portal networks are the lifeblood of our struggle. As the portal network expands and your operational complexities grow, you recognise there's a critical need for more sophisticated tools to manage your most vital assets, portal keys. We're thrilled to announce in upcoming scanner releases, we're introducing significant upgrades to your key inventory management system, designed to empower your strategic operations and streamline your engagement with the portal network. Key sorting by portal alignment in 2.17.2, which I've mentioned is now out, and starred portals designation on keys coming soon. So for portal alignment sorting, a new sorting option will be available, allowing you to arrange your portal keys based on the current faction alignment of each portal in the following sequence: your own faction, the other faction, Machina, and lastly, neutral. Within each faction group, portal keys are sorted further by missing portal health to facilitate your recharge routine. Please be aware this status does not update dynamically in real time and may not always reflect the portal network's immediate ever-changing battleground. The displayed alignment is based on cache data. Guard portals designation coming soon. This intuitive new feature allows you to mark specific portals as high priority, ensuring their keys are always easily accessible. Within your portal key inventory and capsule key view, you will now find a star button on individual portal keys. Tapping this button will designate that portal as starred. Keys of starred portals will be sorted to the top of your inventory key list, and leftmost of your capsule key view when using the sort by star toggle is active. This sort order will apply at the next inventory load. The starred relationship remains on the starred portal as long as you still have a key on that portal. Once you consume a last key for a starred portal, for example by linking, the portal will be unstarred. When you obtain a new key for that same starred portal, it's not automatically remarked as starred. Your starred portal designations are stored securely and will persist across game sessions between your main inventory and capsule views. Starred portal capacity. All agents start with 3 free starred portal slots. You can extend this capacity significantly. So active core subscribers will gain 25 starred portal slots, plus 1 additional slot per month of subscription, up to a maximum of 50 core slots. Agents with expired subscriptions will not receive any extra slots. Recursion. Agents who have recursed will gain 5 additional slots per recursion, up to a maximum of 25 recursion slots. Therefore, the maximum achievable start portal capacity is 78 slots. We believe these new key management tools will significantly empower your strategic decisions and operational efficiency within the portal network, streamline your remote recharges, accelerate your fielding operations, and maintain vital portal links with unprecedented precision. Adapt, optimize, and dominate agents. Ingress. They did also add at the bottom a known issue, saying, we have identified a known issue where portal keys in capsules and key locks may not sort correctly by their faction alignment. A resolution is in progress. So this is something that agents have been asking for a little while, to be able to like mark portals as favorites, basically. This how it is. And being able to sort them by faction is handy for obviously doing recharges. If you need to do that for a daily task, you can just sort through and recharge on there quickly as you go through. For the start portals, everyone starts at 3, and you now do get actual recursion bonuses. So I mentioned that I've recursed twice, so I would then get 13 slots. If I recurse again, then I'll be on 18. So there may be a reason for some agents to want to recurse now. I can see it being handy for things like anomalies, giving all the keys to one person, they can star them and quickly do things on there to sort them out. When you're on core, obviously you get 25 for just subscribing, and then you can go up to a maximum of 50 core slots. I think the maximum amount of months you can be subscribed at the minute is 56. Obviously, it only goes up to 50, so you only need to subscribe for 25 months to get the full amount on there. And then obviously you could recurse up to 5 times to get the 5 additional slots on there, and then have 78 slots. It's quite a lot. I don't know what you sort of have outside of anomalies and big fielding operations. Maybe the 3 is enough for most players, but I don't know whether people will then consider core to get another 25, plus all the things you get with core as well. But it's definitely an interesting change, someone I'm keen to see come to the game whenever we get that in an update. And I'm finding the faction sorting very handy as well, and seeing where it needs recharging and what you can quickly do on there when I've got that as a daily task. Things coming up in like France and Belgium that I've forgotten I've got key soul, but they have to be green, so I can just recharge them. That's about it for general Ingress news. And next up, there's no real Recon news, but I'm just going to move in and talk about Project Jade and another AR game briefly as well.
Hey there, this is Jeff James, game designer from Marvel World of Heroes, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
I'm not going to get fully into the details of Project Jade, which is what Niantic Spatial showed off at AWE with Peridot, but I'd want to mention it on here because it mentions about it using VPS, and VPS is the Niantic Spatial's visual positioning system, which is generated using the scans that Ingress and formerly Pokemon Go users submitted to Niantic. So it's handy to know what those scans are being used for. So they wrote, Project Jade, the experience featuring Dot, is an important flagship experience for what technology can power. It's a clear use case for how spatial intelligence transforms planet-scale wayfinding and our understanding of the world. Attendees could walk through a designated area at the Long Beach Convention Center and have a natural conversation with Dot about their surroundings. The interaction was simple but powerful. Ask, tell me more about that mosaic, and Dot could provide a history. I wonder on this where that comes from, whether that comes from sources like Google or sources via Ingress that people have provided, because what's going to know more about the mosaic, or is it a mix of those? Wonder where's a good place to sit down, and Dot would highlight the nearby wave benches, or need a bite, find me a close by restaurant would trigger Dot to direct attendees to the Pike outlets across the street. While this isn't the ultimate vision for our technology, it's a tangible example of an AI that doesn't just answer questions but enhances our experience of the world. And the tech that's giving the Dot street smarts. Bringing this demo into life required a seamless integration of hardware, software, and a new kind of map. Here's a look at the core components. The first person view, the entire experience begins with the hardware, AR glass, in this case Snap Spectacles. This form factor is revolutionary because it gives the AI human-like first-person perspective. The ability to see the world from the exact same point of view as our user is critical visual input that powers everything else. A precise sense of place. That visual feed is then processed by Niantic's VPS system. Sorry, VPS. VPS system is like saying pin number. While GPS can get you to the right block, it fails indoors or in dense cities. VPS overcomes this by using computer vision to pinpoint the user location and orientation within centimeter level accuracy. This precision unlocks the core of modern AR, the ability to anchor, persist, and share AR content and characters like Dot with 6 degrees of freedom, making it feel firmly part of the real world. Crucially for developers, this all happens within seconds starting an AR experience at any VPS enabled location and at a fraction of the performance cost of other anchoring solutions. An AI brain optimized for context. Finally, with a clear view of the world and precise understanding of its location, Dot is powered by an AI brain that synthesizes this information, can visualize the visual context from the camera, combine it with pre-existing knowledge about that location, and interact directly with the user. Me and Dot can have a natural conversation about its surroundings. For the AWE demo, this brain is finely tuned with additional bespoke knowledge about Long Beach, but in the future the goal is for it to scale globally, pulling from our geospatial AI world map and real-time data from the internet to provide helpful context anywhere. That answers my question then of the data it's pulling, so it seems it pulls from geospatial AI world map, so the Ingress map, and from the internet as well about the data. So I didn't want to go through all the details of it on there. I will link to it on there so you can read everything for yourself. But I want to mention it on there because it's our scans that are powering the VPS. Our scans are powering the VPS for Niantic Spatial. So I just wanted to share that. Finally, I just wanted to talk about a bit of news about another AR game I play that's not Niantic Spatial, not Scopely, Niantic, whatever we're calling them, but it's by Ludia Games, so Jurassic World Alive, which hopefully you've heard of. It's starting dinosaurs on the map and interacting with the map that way. That game's been running for like 7 years now, I think. So they've done an update that their player level cap, which previously capped at level 20, is now going up for the first time to level 35. I just want to highlight on here because obviously the Ingress player level has been 16 for ages now, and agents talk about what would be level 17, what would that look like if that did happen, or are we just stuck on the recursion route forever to keep cycling back around? But for Jurassic World Live, I do play it every now and again. I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm not level 20 in it. I think I'm level 15. So I'll be interested to see if I suddenly level up or suddenly increase my level because they've changed the XP grind a bit, and whether I get to level 16 without having to do much else. But I think that kicks off for them on the 11th of August, so a little while before that goes live in the game. But I'd be interested there's not a Jurassic World Live podcast as far as I know that's active. So I just wanted to cover it on here for anyone that plays it as well and was listening or used to play it back in the day. I played it a lot during the pandemic. So I just thought I'd share it there as a final thing for the episode. That's all I've got for this one. So I'll now move on and get things wrapped up.
This is Shimon, former community manager for the Witcher Monster Slayer, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Thank you, agents, for listening to this episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. As I said in the podcast, next week we've got the first plus Delta XM anomalies. However, I won't be covering them because I'll be away at a wedding that weekend, so I'll be recording earlier in the week. So I'll cover them the following week when we do also have another set of XM anomalies. So I might be covering 2 sets of results depending on what time it is and what time I'm able to record. Other than that, we obviously have the starred portals coming at some point. I don't think it'll be by the time next episode, but it'd be nice if it was. And then see how everyone's got on with Second Sunday, because that's obviously happening today to this the episode, and see if people manage to earn their badges. I should be at gold for Second Sunday by October time, I think. So that would be nice for me. We may also get some details for the Plus Delta Field Ops. That starts on the 30th of August. So getting some more details for that 2 weeks before wouldn't be too surprising. And we can just see what happens from there. As always, if there's anything you want me to cover or think I've missed, do let me know by either emailing me or getting me on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, any of those. And then we can see what I can do from there. But thank you again for listening, agents. Hope you have a great Sunday and happy hacking. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to help the podcast out, you can do that in a few ways. So, first of all, rating the podcast on the podcast service you're listening to is always a great help, as well as leaving any comments on YouTube or Spotify if you're able to do that if you're listening on those channels. Ingress Insights also has a merch store over at tpublic.com/user/ingress-insights, where you can pick up badges and pins and t-shirts with the Ingress Insights logo on, and a few other little bits. There's also the Ko-fi store page, which has previous episodes of the podcast if you want to download those. They'll be out in batches over the next few months. You can also follow us on social media. So the main one we use is Instagram, which is under the name ingress.insights. And we also have a Blue Sky and a Threads, which you can find linked on the show notes to follow on there. If you have any feedback or episodes you'd like to see, or bonus episodes, things you want to cover, or you want to come on and chat about your experience playing Ingress, do let me know. You can contact us via email as well. And the email address is just ingressinsights@gmail.com. So you can send us anything there, voice messages, things you want me to discuss in future episodes, or anything you think I've missed and need to cover next time. Thank you again for listening, agents. Hope you have a great day and happy hacking.
Intel package transferred.